let's transition and let's talk about Mike Tomlin. As Mike Tomlin, he slammed the door shut on a potential college job with the USC Trojans that come up. Take a listen to Mike Tomlin.
Hey, guys, I don't have time for that speculation. I mean, that's a joke to me. I got one of the best jobs in all of professional sport. Why would I have any interest in coaching college football? That'll be the last time today, but moving forward, never say never, but never. Okay? Anybody else got any questions about any college jobs? There's not a booster with a big enough blank check. Thank you. Anybody asking Sean Payton about that? You know, anybody asking Andy Reid about stuff like that?
That was Mike Tomlin's comments on the speculation about the possibility of him wanting to go and coach the USC Trojans. And so I got to be honest, when it comes to this situation and Mike Tomlin being asked about possibly being considered as a candidate for the USC job, honestly, I had it wrong initially. The first thought that I had about this entire situation was I thought it actually would be an honor to be mentioned for a job with the USC Trojans because it shows that you are one of the coaches that they believe could turn their program around. So I thought, like, man, Mike, I think you overreacted a little bit because, you know, this is an opportunity for you, to go and coach a college team. And the fact that they are interested in you shows how much they believe in you and shows how much they like your accomplishments at the NFL level. A Super Bowl winning head coach, being one of the, faces of the Pittsburgh Steelers, one of the most popular NFL franchises in the NFL. I thought it was actually something that Mike Tomlin should look at as being an honor, being considered, for a particular job, at the collegiate level. Although I do agree with Mike Tomlin about how he has, one of the best jobs in pro sports. I'm just looking at it from the standpoint of you are accomplished and you are a high commodity that organizations would want coaching their football team. Don't look at it as a knock that they are trying to reach out to you to possibly become their head coach and lead, kids at the collegiate level. That's actually an honor. That's how I looked at it initially. But then I started thinking more and more about the situation and his comments. Like I kept listening to him over and over and over again. And I changed my whole perspective on the situation. And I actually completely understand now where Mike Tomlin is coming from in this situation. So you heard him say, why isn't anyone asking Andy Reid, Sean Payton about these college jobs? He didn't mention Andy Reid and Sean Payton to be able to throw shade or, throw a slight in their direction. Like he didn't mean it in that type of way. He was basically saying, why aren't you asking other coaches who have similar accomplishments as me about the openings at a college job? Now, so far, Andy Reid, Sean Payton, and Mike Tomlin all only have one Super Bowl on their resume. So Mike Tomlin's feeling like, why aren't you guys asking them about potential coaching jobs at the collegiate level? Why are you asking me? And the reason why he's saying this is because Sean Payton and Andy Reid, they are locked in to their jobs, and their jobs are secure for the Kansas City Chiefs and the New Orleans Saints. But for whatever reason, whenever the Pittsburgh Steelers lose a few games, we always hear quietly, about Mike Tomlin's job status. And is he a part of the reason why the Pittsburgh Steelers are losing games? And so it's amazing to me that is the case. But we don't hear that about Sean Payton, who, by the way, had 3 back-to-back losing seasons. We don't hear that about Andy Reid, who, before Patrick Mahomes came along, had not won a Super Bowl at any point in his career. As a matter of fact, a lot of people looked at Andy Reid as one of those coaches who don't coach well in the playoffs. But we never heard about any speculation about his job and whether or not he deserved to be, the head coach. So why in the hell do we always hear quiet rumblings about whether or not Mike Tomlin deserves to be the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers if they lose a few games? This is a man in Mike Tomlin who has a career record as a head coach, 148, 81-1. So he's won 65% of his games as head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. Andy Reid, he's won 62% of his games as head coach. Sean Payton has won 64% of his games. Also, Andy Reid, he has 6 division titles. Sean Payton has 6 division titles. Mike Tomlin has 7 division titles. Not to mention, of all the quarterbacks these three head coaches has coached, Andy Reid, has coached Patrick Mahomes. Sean Payton has coached Drew Brees, and Mike Tomlin has coached Ben Roethlisberger. I would say that when it's all said and done, because Patrick Mahomes is still playing, and Roethlisberger is obviously still playing, but Roethlisberger is on the downside of his career. He'll be playing maybe 1 or 2 more seasons at the most. But Patrick Mahomes, he's still playing and got about 10 to 15 years left at the quarterback position. But I would say, when it's all said and done, that Patrick Mahomes is more talented than Ben Roethlisberger as an overall quarterback. Just more talented. Mike Tomlin is playing with the worst quarterback of the three. But yet he still has more division titles, a better winning percentage as a head coach. So again, why is he the one being questioned about a USC job in the Pac-12 with USC? Seriously? The man has one of the best jobs in the NFL. He's never had a losing season since he's been the head coach of the Pittsburgh Steelers. And when you talk about the best coaches in the NFL, Mike Tomlin is in a class of his own, similar to Bill Belichick. And guess what? He also did not have the luxury of coaching a great quarterback like Tom Brady. Ben Roethlisberger is great. He's one of the most clutch quarterbacks in NFL history, and he's a Hall of Fame first ballot. But he's not Tom Brady. He's not Patrick Mahomes, and he's not Drew Brees. So can we please stop pretending like Mike Tomlin hasn't built up a great resume throughout the course of his coaching career, enough to the point where we can stop pretending like his job isn't secure? His job should be secured just like Bill Belichick's, just like Sean Payton, just like Pete Carroll, and just like Andy Reid. And here's the thing, too. He's not even an offensive-minded head coach. He's a defensive-minded head coach. And that's why he wins football games. But I understand his frustration, and initially I missed it. I'll be honest, I missed it at first because I thought that it's something that you should look at as an honor to be considered for, a job at the collegiate level. But I thought about the actual job, USC in the Pac-12. No, I understand why he's offended. Like, I understand why he's offended. Now, one thing he did say that I disagree with, he said, there's no amount of money a booster could throw at me that will make me leave this Pittsburgh Steelers job. I disagree with that because, money talks and money can really, really make you switch up your position. But looking at his resume, Super Bowl champion, 2-time AFC champion, head coach, won the Coach of the Year award as an assistant head coach. He also won a Super Bowl. He's also the youngest head coach to win the Super Bowl. There's never been a coach younger than Mike Tomlin who's won a Super Bowl. So, again, I love the fact that he had this response in this press conference. Like, I really, really do. I love it. I love it. Like, he was right on the money with everything that he said.